What are the best practices for a startup approaching large customers? It's not going to be a perfect product when you go out to your first enterprise customer. It's going to be clunky, it's going to be flawed, it's going to be a minimally viable product, an MVP. And even though you may not be ready, it's super important that you get your product out into the market and in the hands of as many users as possible, because customers are your best source of data, and that data is going to inform your product roadmap. Once you've sort of identified the subsector of the market that you want to get into, you got to find your champion, right? And who's your champion inside your organization? It's someone who's a decision maker. They've either got to be on the executive team or report into the executive team. They've got to be in charge of budget or directly tied to it. And when you pitch to them, you've got to put yourself in their seat, right? They don't get paid to take a ton of risk, right? To oversimplify it, their goal every year from their position is to either increase revenue for the enterprise or lower costs. So when you're selling to them, you need to make sure that your solution speaks to that goal. And if you can get there, you've got a champion in them. And that's super, super important. Once you're in the cycle, you've got to lower all the hurdles. Always do the follow-up. Always be the one putting pen to paper. It helps you maintain momentum in the sales cycle. But most importantly, this goes back to data, you get to control the end product. Because what's going to ultimately happen is, you're not taking your perfect product in front of these guys. You've got back of the house scrambling to make sure that it fits what the customer needs. And you're probably using humans and other things services to augment what your ultimate product is that you're going to ship. And you need to make sure that every step along that way, every part of that workflow is ultimately something that you can productize. Because once you've done it for your first customer, you got to take it to your second and to your third. And you've got to create something that's scalable and repeatable and ultimately becomes an enterprise value product.